Well, good morning. Good morning. I love saying this. It's a great day to do business in Caldwell County, and particularly today. It's a gorgeous day for business anywhere, but especially here. I'm Deborah Murray. I'm the Executive Director of the Caldwell EDC, and I am really proud and pleased to be here at Baker's Waste Equipment in Lenoir, and happy to be celebrating another milestone in our community. This is a success on a whole lot of different levels, most of which we won't even talk about today. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the process and tell you, a lot of times folks think that these kinds of things happen overnight. And I think that that's, we've disproved that in this case, did we not? We began working with Baker's Waste with Rick Raines back in, I wrote it down in here somewhere, March of 2012. That's a long time ago. But it took a long time to find the right building. Rick was in the process of expanding his business and couldn't to his own liking, and he needed to consolidate and expand. He had 3 different locations, and so he did an exhaustive search of the region, and we found him, or he found us, through some of our partners. Some of those partners were the North Carolina Department of Commerce, Dale Carroll, Bill Payne, Robert Dunn with the Stump Corporation was also helpful in all of that. They found a building, but it wasn't this one, and that didn't work out. So we came here, and sometimes in our business you do the best that you can do, and then you have to let the building do the rest. And on the day that we came here, this building wasn't all that cooperative. We marshaled all of our resources, including the Department of Commerce and local government. We even went back to the seller, and it took every bit of elbow grease that we could muster and apply to see if this, excuse me, might work. And then the heavy lifting was done by Rick Raines, because he had to see that it could work, and he did, and he committed to it. So we announced this project in January of 2013. And so without further ado, I just want to say thank you, congratulations to all the partners who were helpful in making this happen. We'll talk more about who Baker's Waste is and what they're doing. They are an exciting corporation to have in our midst, and we're just very pleased to be here and celebrate their success. It's a success for us too. And so I am going to ask the mayor, Joe Gibbons, to please join me up here and say a few words.
Thank you, Deborah. Good morning. What a special day to be in Lenoir and Caldwell County today as we officially welcome Baker's Waste Equipment. Even though they have been with us in our community for a period of time, they've already become a great corporate partner and citizen of our community, and we're so proud of that, and we're just proud to be a part of that. So we welcome you here today, and on behalf of the citizens of Lenoir, our city council, which many are here this morning, and all the citizens of Caldwell County, we welcome you here. We are so honored that you are part of our county now and our city and a part of our economy, and we certainly appreciate all you've done. I think it's already grown since the time we started this. As Deborah said, in January of 2013, there were announcements made, and then from that time, this has grown even further. So we are so honored that you are part of our community. Thank you for all that you're doing. Thank you for picking and choosing Lenoir and Caldwell County, that you had faith in us to come here and be a part of that. So wonderful to see a building that has been part of our history for so long, manufacturing, and now it's back manufacturing again in a great and different way. I would like to present something to you just quickly. This is a commemorative coin, Rick, that I would like to give to you with the City of Lenoir seals on it. On the one side is our historic city seal, and the other side is, of course, the All-America City. And Baker's Waste is helping the city of Lenoir be an All-America city.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm William Howard, Chairman of the Caldwell County Economic Development Commission. I saw an ad that that caught my eye, and I won't say why. It was a Crown Royal ad, and it was popping up. Maybe I just looked to the left, but anyway, when it comes back around, it says, "For every king, something," but it reminded me of a slogan that would be very appropriate this morning. And I'll fill in a little bit of time till it comes back around. I'm so glad Deborah said it's a good day to do business in Caldwell County, because that truly is our favorite line. I've had the distinct pleasure in just the last few weeks of standing before a group of community leaders such as who's gathered here this morning, first at Carolina Locust and Sawmills, and then in the last couple of weeks at Excella Pharmaceutical in Lenoir, and here today on Wednesday, August 27th, in Lenoir and the Whitnall community for Baker's Waste Equipment. And it's an honor to be here representing Caldwell Economic Commission. Is that it right there? For every king an adventure, for every king a crown. How about a new slogan? For every building an employer, for every citizen a job. Because that's what we're about. I just sat there and thought about that, and Mr. Bernhardt gets mad at me if I try to do a little marketing for Bernhardt, and I get shoved away a little bit sometimes. But anyway, that's what your Caldwell County Economic Commission is about. That's why we do the type of events that we do here this morning. It's an honor to officially, as Mayor Gibbons said, officially welcome Mr. Rick Raines and his working family to our community. It's an honor to have you here, sir. We pledge to be a good place to do business, as evidenced by the many corporate and business leaders and government leaders here this morning. So welcome on behalf of the Economic Development Commission of your county. Thank you.
Well, this morning is a little different one for me, Rick. I worked in this plant.
Right.
And I've got to reminisce just a little bit, okay? I'll tell you something else, and I guess you know there's a, artesian well on this property? There is one. And I can get you with a fellow can show you where it is. And this plant was hooked into it one time, and the water's pure. He had to unhook, I think, due to some regulations or something, But there he is. But I remember J.E. Brawhill walking through this plant. That's in 58, 59, along in there. And no one would probably know Joe Johnston, okay? But I started to work here and learning to spring up. And Joe Johnston was from Boone, probably the fastest spring up guy in this county. So he worked here, okay? Fred Hendricks, y'all know Fred. Fred was personnel guy here. Maynard Tigg was plant manager. Tack Nail. Now, isn't that a funny, as far as I know, that was his name. Tack had his left hand, but he didn't have a hand from right here. He drove a truck. He drove a truck for Brawhill with that arm from here in and changed gears and everything. And one of it I just had to mention, there's a guy here called Harlem Coffee. And I meant to bring my old tack nail. You remember old hammers? Do y'all remember the way they upholstered with tacks and you put them in your mouth and they called them spitting tacks is what they called it. And I wanted to bring that thing, but Harlem, he made ottomans. And if you talked to him, he couldn't talk if you yawned in front of him. Well, we'd come in and and say, Harlem, how you doing? And I ain't gonna tell you what he said, but he could not upholster as long as we yawned, So I thought maybe it might be appropriate to just to mention a few of these things. Now, I eat lunch down here at Clarence's Friendly Lunch, usually every morning. And when I leave there and go to the town or the EDC, wherever I would go, I come by this plant, and you know, it did bother you. You worked here, and you remember all the lively stuff and how busy it was, and all of a sudden, it was gone there for Deborah, I don't know how many years, but a few years. Grass growing in the parking lot. Now, Rick, I sit at Clarence's and I watch them trucks go by. And it's every morning, I believe. There's one day before yesterday, parked there just for a minute. Probably had 8 those small bins on it. And I get amazed with guys like you, too. You don't just go in your buildings boxes because some of them fit within the others. I've watched you in order to make it work when you haul. You know, so there's engineering and a lot of stuff goes on in this plant. And I love manufacturing. And guys, think about it. There's going to be trash forever. And you may slow down some, but they still got to have bins. So that's a good industry anytime you do that. But anyway, from my perspective as Commissioner in Caldwell County, we are absolutely delighted that you are here. And it does me more good to ride by this place and see this lot full of cars. And I believe maybe you're somewhere around 120 and still going. But you have really helped Caldwell County. And for that, I want to thank you.
I wanted to introduce our next speaker because he is the former Deputy Secretary for the North Carolina Department of Commerce, but he also was our secret weapon in being able to put this deal together. And I was so excited when he agreed to come, and I'm even more excited to be able to introduce you to him in his new role, and I will let him explain that. But Dale, please come. We just want to say thank you for your efforts to help bring Rick here.
Thank you very much, Deborah. Well, good morning, everyone. I did not realize that I would be speaking to you today, and so I'm humbled by this. The special treat for me, though, was the opportunity to come congratulate Rick and congratulate all of you, and to spend time with you as well, the fellowship, because I consider all of you to be my friends in various ways, and we've done a lot of good things together, and teamwork is what it's all been about. Rick, you have been on a journey. You have been innovating your company. You have been competing in a tough marketplace. You'll be talking about these things as you reach the podium in just a moment. But I just wanted, on a personal note, to say to you how much I admire your tenacity and your resilience. The special things that you did from an HR standpoint to tap into attracting and retaining as much of your workforce as possible through this consolidation process. And I am very thankful that you decided that you would continue to be a North Carolina company when you had alternatives in other states where they had buildings that would meet your needs and where they were doing their best to convince you that they could provide you with a capable and productive workforce as well. So thank you from that standpoint. I want to thank you for your commitment to this community and to our state as a result of that. I'll very briefly say to all of you that my wife and I are back at our primary residence in Asheville, which means we get to attend our church on a regular basis. We get to see our friends. We get to be closer to our family that stayed in that part of the state while we served down in Raleigh. You have a very special team here in Caldwell County. A lot of can-do spirit. William and the private sector people on the EDC board, Deborah and Bobby and Dawn and others on the staff, your can-do spirit. It was one thing for you to find and identify a building that we're in today that would meet the requirements of Rick and his company, but it's quite another to put everything else together in a package. And so the can-do spirit that you have speaks for itself. You've been on a whole string of successful things in diversifying your manufacturing base. You look at the precision metalworking and technology being applied in Rick's company, the life sciences and biotech that's taking place across the area. But even with wood grain millwork, you've even played to some of the strengths that you have in that part of your traditional industries as well. So all I can do is congratulate you and thank you for including me on your program today. And I think Deborah will now introduce the guest of honor.
Thank you, Dale. We appreciate that, and we miss you. We do. Baker's Waste wanted to stay in the area because they wanted to retain their employees. They had 80 when we first began talking. And we have an advertisement and a slogan that we use a lot. If you see our ads in Site Selection Magazine or other places, the ad always says the same thing. They could have chosen anywhere in the world, and they did. And that's what Rick did. He chose to be here in Caldwell County. And Rick, because you're here and you wanted to save those jobs for your own employees, and then you've grown and added almost all of the jobs that he pledged to grow when we first began talking. We're proud of that growth. They've already announced another expansion with some new product that they're going to be talking about today, I assume. But their people and their products have already made Baker's Waste one of the most respected companies in our community. And your being here makes us better, and we want to thank you. So I welcome you.
Thanks so much. I appreciate everybody being here. Welcome to Baker's Waste Equipment. We're proud to show you what we're trying to get done around here, and we appreciate all the help. And I'm telling you, you know, this crowd that's here today is indicative of the kind of support we've had from the very first, from the county, the state, a lot of financial support, well, just in every regard. And there were a few setbacks along the way, and Caldwell County dug in deeper than they had the first time around and made this all happen, and I really do appreciate that. This has been a wonderful experience for us. I think in addition, and I'm just going to warn you ahead of time, I'm not going to name names and thank people because I know I'll forget too many, so no names. But anyway, but aside from the EDC and the community and all that, I think every agency that we've worked with, every vendor that we've found in this area as we've brought some of the business here to them, the neighbors, everything has been positive. You just couldn't ask for a better location and a better welcome, and that's been positive in every way. And we think this is the right place to be, and you know, people keep saying, well, the building wasn't right. Well, I just want to tell you there's only one thing wrong. The ceilings weren't high enough where we keep our steel. And so finally, Scott and I, you'll meet Scott in a minute, had a look at it, and we said, well, you know what? They built this building with these 40-foot spans, and we can put our overhead cranes between them. We don't need the whole building, the whole site. And so that was the key to make it work for us. It's a beautiful building. It was well maintained, and aside from the fact that a lot of the doorways would only let sofas go through and we needed trailers, we had to open up some, but other than that, it was a great place for us. I'd like to introduce some of the key people that work with us. Keith Baker does our purchasing. Been with the company since its inception. And Lisa Ramsey, where's Lisa? There she is. Been with us right from the very first. She's our controller, and we're so happy about that. There in the back, Chris Burns has done our marketing for, boy, a long time now. We're getting to know each other pretty well. And Scott is our operations director. And this is pretty much our key staff. Thank you so much. We also have people that are going to help you with some tours a little bit later. Ray Lunsford is back there, and he runs our our compactor division. Alex Suarez helps us with overall manufacturing techniques, and Carissa Oren is our customer service rep and keeps everything going for us. We have you folks are very gracious. You talk about tenacity, and you know, it has been a journey. But the person I take my hat off to, and I'm so glad is here, is Carson Baker, who 33 years ago founded this company. Carson, would you stand? Now, to start from scratch, from nothing, now that's tenacity. I mean, Carson started from nothing more than an idea and some family members that were willing to work with him. And I should have mentioned Carolyn, too, because she was there all the way. She was there as well. But started with that and an idea that he could do more than work for someone else, and so for 20 years he brought this company along. And when I came to the area, I'm a manufacturing guy from corporate world, and I came here to operate the what used to be the old Duracell plant down in Valdez. And so I came there and worked there for a few years, and then came to Baker's Waste. What I've told people a number of times is that Carson had the product flow